it's Charlotte, and I'm here with Moonshine. And I got him out and went to lead him, and he was really wanting to take over leading. So I thought instead of starting in the stall with some more tapping like we did at Amanda's, I was going to bring him out here and do some of this exercise I call playground of safety. It feels to me like he really wants to take over and drive and get ahead to try to rid himself of whatever is going on. And I was curious to see how much different he was going to look since I worked with him there in Georgia. And to me, he looks a lot different. He was quite swollen with cortisol when I saw him before. So I'm sure you will also notice with the cortisol out, it's going to make his body look a lot tighter, less fat than I'm sure it looked the last time you saw him. I think it has a lot to do with the cortisol, and while he's here, we'll really pump some food to him, but everything there at the Pokes was big and fat, and Oscar that came with him is big and fat, so I really feel like this is more of a cortisol issue than it is anything else. So playground of safety is an exercise that we use to inspire the horses to find endorphins and relaxation on their own. I pick a spot, I stand on that spot relaxed with my focus not on the horse. And besides doing relaxation, this is a big leadership exercise. As I was leading Moonshine, he's really pushing up on me, not rude, not stepping on me, but he still is really pushing in the bubble. And that is taking over some of the leadership. So what I want to do is create this space, and I swish with the end of my rope like a mare would swish her tail. And I want him to move out of this bubble. Perfect, just like that. When he does that, I quit swishing, and this is going to give him a chance, this is nice, to find peace within himself, to start to unload things himself, because I have taken over the role as the lead in this herd of our herd of two. And so the horse can start going inside itself and releasing stuff. Before I started this, I took a little video of the left side of him down by his flank, the spot I told you about. And I took about a minute of video of that. And I haven't done anything to rile anything up yet. So there was some movement, but not a ton. And it'll be interesting to get to see what happens after I do this exercise and tap on him a little bit. Good, so this looks like we're doing nothing, and really I'm just holding space for him to start to learn how to relax, tag the endorphins, and heal himself. I love the fact that he's doing some lateral flexion with his head and neck. When I saw him in Georgia, his head was very, very straight up. The fact he's dropping his head down, the fact he's kind of investigating the ground, that's awesome. I love that he went from standing still to now cycling to move. That is part of this exercise. We want to see the horses cycle, because the faster that they cycle, the faster we know that their mind works, that they can process things. So a cycle is, oh good, so he wants to give you a good shot of the side of him. He actually, I'm sort of surprised, He already looks better from when I got him out of the field. This is really, really good. This is really, it's amazing how quickly they can change. Really nice. So he's licking his lip, he's bending down, rubbing his leg. Now he's kind of thanking me for, empowering him to be able to do this. He's asking if I need him to come in to help me, and I just swish so that oh wow, we're already to yawning. I swish to say, no, I don't need your help. 2 yawns, amazing. At the end of my session there in Georgia, he had had 3 yawns. He had had no yawns the whole time, and then we had 18, I counted them, 18 yawns in a row. But that was after the better part of an hour and a half of working on him with energy and the tapping in the stall. So it's pretty amazing. How long have I been doing this, honey?
6 minutes.
So within 6 minutes to get a group of yawns and so much change is pretty amazing. Now I'm noticing right now as he stands here, we've got a nice square front feet. They're about as far apart as I would like them to be. I notice he's standing very narrow behind, 1 foot in front of the other, the back feet in a straight line. That is very consistent with what we talked about. Horses will hold deep emotional garbage, deep emotional trauma and garbage between those back feet, and this is the classic look of a horse kind of doing a pee-pee dance with emotion in the back feet. We see the left foot, which is the side that we noticed stuff on last time. The left hind foot, that white hind foot, is further forward. So to me, he's holding a lot in that hind leg. The most he's holding in is the left. As I stand in front of him, I notice his nostrils are out of balance. The left nostril is bigger and higher up. The right nostril is longer, thinner, and lower down. Tommy will see if he can get some video of that. Hopefully, if you tag on his face, it'll usually give you some better light.
Brighten it up a little bit.
Yeah. And really, as soon as we put the camera on his face, his nostrils really evened out a lot. So hopefully you can see something. I think this horse has a really huge awareness of being observed. There's a quantum deal that observation will collapse some of the possibilities, and I think he has a very big awareness of being observed and people observing him with judgment. I really want him to start to feel that I don't have judgment for him. This is not about me judging him at all. He's already going inside himself and stuff is coming out. We can see the left side of his body. His body is more arced that way, but he's blocking me from it. His head is blocking me from it. So the left side of him is tighter, holding more stuff. There, he just made a nice change, kind of released some of the little bit of stuff in the left. This is nice. And there he came back present again, like, wow, this actually feels really good. So I'm happy this is helping him. Playground of safety can be very hard to watch. nobody ever wants to do it, but to me, this is the most powerful exercise we have, because in playground of safety, we're empowering, there, nice breath. We're empowering the horse to find the answers for himself instead of trying to micromanage it. I love the lateral flexion back and forth. When he's doing this lateral flexion, it stretches the intercostal muscles on either side of his rib cage. So we're stretching and letting go of some stuff. As I stand in front of him here, more yawn, another yawn. So we're really getting stuff to move out. Now he's resting the right hind foot, so we're starting to stretch that left hind leg to get it to let go of some stuff. That's awesome. Right before he rested that right hind foot, his head was in a position that I got to see the symmetry or lack of symmetry over his pelvis, and he was much higher on the right in his hip than on the left. I'm sure now if Tommy got behind him it would look opposite. Don't bother to look at it now. But he was significantly lower in the left than the right. That's also consistent with a horse that's holding a lot of emotional tightness. Yay, more yawning. That energy in that left side. Good. So now we've switched to resting the other side. This is really good. This is really good. So when he's resting this left foot, he's going to release some energy out of the bottom of that white hind foot. He's really focused on that left quarter that's in the back, which is our spot that we kind of felt like he was holding things. So lateral flexion, looking to the right, is stretching the left side again. I notice he's not blinking. When he's doing this, his eyes are very wide and not blinking. The blink is usually our first sign of relaxation. It's the first hit of endorphins. So when a horse is really staring, yes, I know, and now he's showing me where he's holding, and I'm just tell him, yes, I know you are, baby. So it's significant that he's not blinking right now. So I love it. This is also a great example. Moonshine is really wanting to feel better. Most horses that are out of balance and are carrying stuff, look at him look to the outside and stretch the inside. That's amazing. Then he shook, licking his lips. Looks to the outside, licks his lips. This is great. And he's giving me a chance to observe that spot on the left side. It's actually looking a lot more peaceful. I see where his back has really come up from the last time I saw him. The last time I saw him, he was very empty over the top of his back. I feel like that was from what he was holding. I'm glad that he got that space of time from me tapping on him and working on him so much to coming here, because he needed that time to kind of reorganize his body so that he was ready for another stage. So I'm gonna switch because he's asking me if I need some help. I'm all right, buddy. Perfect. Swishing him back, you'll notice he did a nostril flare and a big breath and then licking his lips. He's really appreciating not having to be the leader right now. This horse has been holding so much. for a very long time. But the thing he did so amazing right there, the first time he went to cycle and move, he moved with his right side toward me. And then he cycled and was still. Then when he moved again, he moved with his left side to me. So he's shown me both sides. That's really amazing. Look at him stretch that left side again. That's really amazing because most horses that are as out of balance as he presents would not go both directions. So that tells me that instead of him physically being out of balance, this is a mental and emotional out of balance. So look at him stretching and then really breathing in that rib cage, really trying to move some energy. This is amazing. What a cool horse to understand his own body and how to try to clear it. Nice. There. Brought his head straight, licked his lips again. So, good. So now he's showing me that he has a little bit there behind that elbow, sort of at the girth line. I'm going to just glance over here at him. Oh, he's telling me he has it at the girth line on the other side too. So I'm going to say duly noted. Duly noted. We'll tap on your girth line when it's time to tap on you again. He's got a little more width between the back feet. And he's starting to relax enough that he's able to show me where he really is with the front feet. I think some of that at the beginning, nice. Oh, no, I must be right if he's starting to yawn again. I think some of that at the beginning, so he's asking if I need help again. I'm gonna swish. He must feel me looking at him, and when you look at them, it invites a connection, and he's just, oh, I love the yawning. I love that he is so wanting to connect, wanting to do right. This is beautiful. So we're starting to get a little bit of blinking going on. That's awesome. Not a ton, but a little. Now we're not blinking. He's gone inside himself again to try to clear some stuff. There was a good blink. And that eye, and there's another blink. You can really, you'll be able to see it when you see him. You can really tell when we go from sort of adrenaline and cortisol to endorphins. Adrenaline and cortisol to endorphins. So this is really good. It's interesting because me being a physical empath, the biggest thing he's doing is he's making me have a twitchy eye on my right side. I feel yeah, that must be him because it's less twitchy now that I said that. I feel a little pain in my back here on the right, low back. When I glance over there, I see where he has an empty spot there, right low back. That's all stuff that I can really work on when we put the back feet on the pallet. So really right hind leg is really lighting up now. Like I feel like that is because the right hind leg has been having to hold the back end of this horse up for a really long time, and it's tired. And there he kind of is going deeper. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the video, but he kind of goes in and you'll see this kind of weird wobbling. That is him clearing stuff out of him. He's not doing it right this second, but you'll see as it goes along. Now we're doing a little lateral flexion to the left, to stretch the right side. He has good sense to know he doesn't want to release everything out of one side and leave the other side tight. Because then the stuff's just going to jump over into the tight side. There, now he went back. And I can see standing in the front of him where he's got this snaky feel to his body right now. Like the energy in it has made a zigzag snaky feel to it. Kind of like the hips are off a little to the left. Then the rib cage goes off a little to the right. We have him tip back in. Left front foot. Then he empties in this spot right in front of the left shoulder to the right. Then the whole like C1, C2, C3 is back to the left, and his nose is off to the right. So it's like stuff is moving in him very much like a snake. You probably would understand that part better than I do. I'm not used to seeing horses present with this zigzag. I feel like that's because we're part way through clearing what's in here. I'm starting to feel the crunching on the left side. I'm gonna blow it out. He's able to stretch some more. And it's interesting, he's turning his head that way, but he's looking at me and connecting to me at the same time. There he was able to relax a bit more. And this is kind of amazing because his head was never really this low when I worked on him before. So nice. Yeah, this is just such an improvement over last time. Now we're back to moving. I'm very tight behind my right knee, so he's must be really tight behind the right stifle. He's lining up behind me. When a horse lines up behind you, it puts them in an energetic alignment to you where they could send what's happening in their body into you if you are open to it. I feel like look at how he's got his left side to me. He's much more wanting to unload what's on the left rather than lining up straight behind me and unloading evenly. Yeah, like I'm feeling it on my left, like my left is starting to go like, that's really wild. So I'm just gonna relax and hold some space. He's connecting and kind of pulling me backwards. And I'm feeling sort of fuzzy right up through this, right up through here. I would read that as a good thing because the majority of energy has to clear in a horse from the back to the front. So when we start clearing things in the rear end, it generally will have to go up through the head and then out the mouth. Yeah, like I totally feel it in my eyes. I'm just gonna give him, oh, my stomach's cramping on the left. And I just had this big sound deep inside my stomach that I don't recognize. I'm getting tingly up here in the top of my head. This is gonna sound really woo-woo, but I kind of feel like getting some help from universal consciousness to come in here and help keep clearing this out of me. There his tail is up. We're passing some gas. We're getting some really good stuff going on. Now he's triggering the dogs. So stuff must be moving off of him. I also feel some weird tingly in the back of the right side of my head. Yeah, like something's got a hold of the right side of my head. Good, he's gonna shake some stuff off. More yawning. We've got a lot of stuff coming out. The shake, I never saw him loose and wiggly in the bottom of his neck last time. He's coming to thank me and offer to help me. I'm gonna swish again. Say, I'm here for you, buddy. You don't have to do a darn thing for me. Wow, more yawning. This is awesome. And that's the squarest we've had the back feet yet. Plus, we actually have the the left hind a little further back. I just got like needles or a knife feeling in the outside of my calf. That would go with the horse's gaskin. There we go, more yawning. This is amazing. This is really good. This is so good. So, this could lead us to believe, why couldn't this horse clear this stuff on his own when he was living in such a high vibrational place? Like, I really find the Pope's Farm to be extremely high vibration. There are all these trees, the air is very ionized. All the woods and the trees are pulling anything negative off the horses. It's sandy, so like everything about that place is very healing and helping horses become in this really amazing physical, mental, and emotional space. I watched multiple horses that I would have deemed as old that were going around with these children so adorable and sound, and their circle of muscles was functioning correctly, and the energy, the horses were glowing, like it was beautiful. So why couldn't this horse, good boy, clear what he needed to clear there? Well, I think really now being with him, he probably did clear quite a bit. But what has lingered is really pretty darn tough. And without somebody coming in and kind of banging into it and saying, you're not welcome here, you have to leave, and me telling him, this is not yours to hold. We appreciate you holding it, but this is not yours to hold. You need to let that go. Send it back. Send it to the light. I think we were dealing with another level of stuff, and he's making the back of my head light up. I think he was just, what was left, now he's lighting up here, what was left was just more than this horse could clear by himself without an active intention of clearing. Because I think he also has an awareness he doesn't want what is on him. He doesn't want to unload it onto someone else. Yeah, see him yawning? He's like, yeah, I really have not wanted to unload it on anybody else. Yeah, me saying that really meant a lot to him. And now I have this like pain, this dull pain over my left front leg, like he's been really standing on that left front leg, and it went away, so it must belong to him. Very much right stifle, left front leg have been holding him up. I love it. So he really needed the kind of work that you do. He really needed the kind of work that I do. I really don't think that this was a thing that you needed to clear on your own, because I think that you two would just trade it back and forth. I think an owner in this situation, especially an owner that's had him as long as you have had him and has been through as much as you two have been through, a big part of clearing this horse is sending it away where you don't have to. This is all old junk. This is old garbage. You don't need to be holding on to this either. This is not today. This is not present. This is old stuff. And as powerful as you may be now in your training, this was not a job for you to. Ooh, I am having all kinds of weird stabbing through this area where he holds it. This wasn't a job for you to clear. And I don't think that this was, yeah, look at him yawn. This wasn't something that Amanda or Dennis are trained in doing. So I think that they got a bunch cleared off of him, but he had stuff left. This is so good, all these yawns. I'll have to go back and count them. Now the inside of my right stifle sliding out. Ooh, pain all through here. So whatever's in here doesn't really want to fully let go. It's been stuck there a long time. I don't remember which lead it is that he likes to do better than the other lead, but I think this has everything to do with why this horse wants to go on only one lead. I feel like as we get this cleared, we should have 2 leads. I feel something happening. More in the right gaskin. He's really working on stretching that whole right side. Boy, our nostrils are much better now. More yawning. He's coming up to ask me again. I'm gonna swish, but I also, I know this probably is boring to watch, but he's sort of implying to me that we're getting, yeah, look at him breathe, nostril flare, big breath. We're getting to some really deep, dark stuff. See him blinking and starting to clear some stuff. His face is it's twisting around, like his left eye has gone lower. His nostrils, again, the left nostril has gotten tight and up. Right nostril longer. Yeah, good boy. So we're getting to more ugly stuff. See that? That he just is letting go of some ugly stuff. Yeah, and I feel stuff moving in me. So I need to be careful not to unload more than he can process this afternoon. I purposely let him go out and settle today before I got him up, because I wanted him to be feel as good as possible before we did this session. I brought a stick out to tap him, but we don't need to tap him right now because he's doing the work at the right speed. He just really needs us to hold space. I feel like I want to throw up now. So I may look for the next big release, whether that's a big stretch, because see how he's gone there, we got stuff coming out. That was a big one there. Yeah, everything is rolling around inside me, and there more came out. So we're moving a bunch of energy right now. You can kind of watch the ears. You can see he's going, eyes are good, there more came out. When we get done with this cycle, when he yawns and comes awake, I feel like I need to take him back up and let him drink and I don't know, rebalance, because this is a lot. And what this will look like kind of going forward this week is we will do 1 or 2 sessions each day, depending upon how much he's able, like my eye and this knee is, depending upon how much he is able to move, I will either do 1 or 2 sessions a day. I need to make sure that we don't move too much and leave too much of a empty vacuum for stuff to reattach. He needs to fill back up. There, the ears just pop, more's coming out. More just came out, that little popping in his head. Yeah, this is a big deal. Yeah, something big is going out there.